So when does a successful marriage happen? I would rather say it in a different way. Will your love marriage succeed? So there are a lot of people who are going on love, but thing is that many of their love doesn't succeed. So in astrology, what is the combination for love marriage? So what is the combination for a successful marriage, I would say? So let's have a look at some of the combinations in astrological chart through which you can get to know whether your love marriage or the person that you are interested in, whether their love marriage is successful or not. Remember, in order to see the success in love marriage, it is important to look at the birth charts of both the boy and the girl as well. So let's see some of the combinations of love marriage. Okay. So one of the combinations. So I have taken an example of an Aquarius ascendant. So ascendant is your lagna. So this is your first house always. So in my example, I've always taken the example of an Aquarius ascendant for simplicity. However, you can apply this to any of the ascendants or any lagna that you are aware of or that you know. So let's look at Aquarius lagna. So this is the first house, and the karaka for marriage is always Venus. Shukra is the karaka for the marriage. So whenever Shukra is involved, so it indicates marriage in general. However, when Shukra is connected to houses like 3, 7, or 11, it indicates fulfillment of love marriage. So in this chart, you can see that Venus is placed in the 7th house and Jupiter is placed in the 11th house. Jupiter is a planet which blesses wherever it sits. So the three houses, 3rd house, 7th house, and 11th house, these are called Kama houses. Kama houses are very important for a successful marriage. So in your birth chart, you have to see the 3rd and 7th and the 11th house. Here in the 7th house, we have Venus, which is Shukra, and 11th house is Jupiter. 7th house is your spouse or life partner or marriage in general. So, and you have a benefic planet like Venus placed there in the 7th house, aspected by Jupiter. Suppose if you have the dasha of Venus starting at the time of your marriage or before your marriage, as the time in which we are falling in love with somebody else. So the dasha of Venus indicates a successful love marriage. So let's look at the second combination. Second combination, same as Aquarius ascendant, and I am keeping Saturn in the 12th house here. Saturn in the 12th house does really good. Because if Saturn is going to connect to Venus or Sun, wherever Saturn sits, suppose Saturn is going to sit with Venus and Sun here, then it spoils the love marriage actually. Because it indicates delay. Wherever Saturn sits, it indicates delay. When Saturn sits in the 7th house, it indicates delay in marriage. And when it sits with a planet like Venus, which is responsible and for giving a love marriage, then it indicates difficulties with the love marriage. So Saturn I have placed in the 12th house. In all my examples, I've ensured that a planet like Saturn or Rahu is not involved in the 7th, 3rd, or 11th houses. So here Saturn is placed in the 12th house. Only difference is that I have kept a 7th house lord, which is Sun also along with the Venus. So as long as Venus and Sun are, say, like a few degrees apart, then this also indicates a good combination for love marriage. So Venus placed along with the Sun in the house of Sun indicates a love marriage. Now, third example. In the example, I have just replaced Sun with the Jupiter. You can have Jupiter in the 7th house. Whenever Jupiter is placed in the 7th house, Jupiter will aspect the 11th house. This is the 11th house, and Jupiter will aspect the 3rd house. So 11th house is your fulfillment of desires. 3rd house is your luck in marriage. Whenever Jupiter aspects those 3rd and 11th houses, it indicates success. So in this case, if a person has Jupiter Dasha running during this time, then it is very good for love marriage. Next. Now, in this example, I have Jupiter placed in the 2nd house and Venus is placed in the 11th house. 11th house is again the fulfillment of desire. So whenever Venus is placed in the 11th house and Jupiter is placed in the 2nd house, which is Kudumbasthan. Jupiter is the Kudumbasthan. in your Kudumbastan, in your family life, Jupiter does good in the house of second house, and Venus is placed in the 11th house. Again, second house, and 11th house is again the fulfillment of desires. So this is also a good combination for love marriage. Now, here Aquarius ascendant,